So we stopped doing these text Reddit videos a while ago because we did a metric fuck ton of them. Just so many Reddit topics just farmed by YouTube. And I kind of lost interest in most of them. It all started with the dumb things you got in trouble for in school because I relate to that. And I just got farther and farther away from relatability. What is something your family did that you didn't realize wasn't normal until you did it in front of other people? I'm sure I've had a moment with this that I just can't really place. But my family does a lot of stuff that doesn't really seem normal. Nothing super, super weird. You know, our family adapted really well to stuff. I'm trying to think. Me and my sister used to just make insane amounts of food when we would do our version of meal prepping. But we kind of knew that wasn't normal, but we kind of didn't think about it until we got older. I tell our story of our epic tower of waffles that we made, where we made literally like 60 waffles, and didn't really think there was any issue of it while we were doing it. That was kind of a reoccurring instance in our house, where me and my sister would just make copious amounts of food and we wouldn't waste it. We would try to eat absolutely all of it, ruining our kitchen, completely destroying it. But that seemed more like fun than something that we just kind of did mundane. Let me fix this thing and then we'll get the video started. Let's get into it, man. One thing I didn't realize other people didn't do. This is something I didn't really have much to do with it. My mom and my grandmother do it, where they would call each other. So we have malls out here in Vegas, right? You guys have malls where you live at too, right? We have malls out here in Vegas that sometimes have sales that they don't have other places. So my grandmother and my mom would call each other, check on the sale from where they're at, and if the sale is better, they would buy it and then mail it to each other. And that was a very common occurrence in our house. That seems pretty unusual when you talk about it, but maybe not the worst.
Ask Reddit by Planet Reddit. What was something your family did that you didn't realize wasn't normal until you did it in front of others? My mom is a yawn yeller. When she yawns, you can hear it from anywhere in the house. One time my sister had a friend over, and we were in the basement. My mom yawned upstairs, and my sister's friend asked, "Was that a coyote?" My mom yells when she sneezes. In order for her to stop sneezing, she has to basically sneeze really loud, kinda like at you. One time my brother had a friend over and he thought something was going on outside. It was my mom sneezing in her room. My dad sneezes super loud as well. I once lost him in a large bookstore. Heard a loud achoo and then I found him again. Use of Hinduted German words in casual conversation, which as a child I presumed were English until I got confused stares from friends. My family has been in the US since 1902. Check for me. I didn't know the English word for belly button for years. What's the Czech word? The Czech word is puppy. Sleep after the meal during holiday get-togethers. Just the men. The women exchanged gifts. We would all go into the living room and watch football and kinda doze. No big deal. Did this once at my girlfriend's family Christmas and evidently I embarrassed her or maybe offended someone. Either way, I was the only one asleep while everyone else was energetic and conversing lively with family. I was woken up by girlfriend with an angry tone asking why I was asleep during the party. I was comfortable, relaxed, and we just had a lot of food. Made sense to me.
He was like, bro, it's sleep time. I don't know what's up with y'all. Y'all do you. Y'all have fun. Scream or whatever. I'm gonna lay over here and take a fucking nap.
Damn, that definitely seems like something that would be perfectly normal in some families and rude in others.
Yeah, that would be.
It was so
my family's so mild. I don't know if we would really care. We would just be like, I guess the homie was
natural to me that I was confused for a bit why she was upset. Like, this is what you do: eat and then nap. We always did this on Thanksgiving. We would finish eating and then about 10 minutes later everyone would be asleep. It was always so satisfying to wake up on a full stomach. My dad just
That is okay. That's a great example. That's weird. Let me think. Damn. But see, my grandfather is like a diabetic, so you kind of know he's gonna be tired after he's done eating. You know what I mean? And he's like, older, so it don't really matter if he falls asleep. You know what I'm saying? You don't yell at old people for like falling asleep. You know what I mean? And like, I guess if my dad fell asleep, I really wouldn't think anything of it. But that's because he works a lot. So every time he sleeps, I'm like, good, he needs to be sleeping more. But that would be kind of. But we wouldn't go to somebody else's house and do that, though. So maybe that's where it is. I think you need to respect etiquette of other people's homes. It's probably why I don't get caught up in a lot of that.
My siblings and I a lot. He was born in Iran, so he had a little bit of a language gap even as an adult. And what he would do to mess with my siblings and I is he would use his finger and thumb to punch the tiniest amount of skin on our wrists, and he would call it jizz, because I think that's what he thought the sound of that was if you could get close enough to hear it. So the scene occurred plenty of times where my brother, sister, and I would be running away from him in the house, pleading not to get jizzed on. Years later, someone explained to me that the noise Iranians think bees make is jizz, so therefore, my dad was buzzing us, not jizzing. Thankfully. Your story is fantastic. That first line I audibly gasped. Language mix-ups definitely can be awkward. When I lived in Japan I started from zero with language ability. Early on I learned that shinkai plus n is used colloquially as a verb for microwaving, chin representing the sound of a microwave chime. One evening when hosting some Japanese people I had met, I went over to microwave something and in a sing-song voice said chin chin. They turned to me mortified. I stood there confused, until one brave soul informed me I had just said a slang word for N. And that's the story of how I learned a new slang word.
That is better than the jizzing story. The jizzing story I'm neutral to. You know it's a fucking setup. You know what I mean? You know it's a fucking setup. Or just fake. But that's just sound real as fuck. That last one, the microwave chime, that's one. You know what I learned with that one? Is I had a mix up with a dean at my high school, right? Me and him never really got along. He's this tall Italian dude. And I was walking up the stairs and I was looking at him. He was glaring at me. I was glaring at him. But I was like, you know what? I'll exchange pleasantries because we haven't gotten into it for a while. Y'all know how it is. Just when you and another teacher just don't fuck with each other. And y'all just meet the eyes like, you know, I don't like you. You don't like me. And it doesn't have to be any better. So I was like, man, how'd your day go? And he stopped in his tracks. He goes, what did you just say to me? I said, how did your day go? Like, how's your day going? Is your day going well or not? Like, you've never had people ask you how you're doing once in your life? You know, like, I was just like, you coming at me for that? Like, we just don't like each other off rip. We can't say nothing anymore. And he was like, he was like, do you know what a dago is? I was like, I have not a clue, but I know it means, you know, like, I know what it is. It's a saying, like a pleasantry. And he was like, man, he's like, it's a slang word. It's like I'm Italian, so it's like you called me the N-word, you know? And I was like, I didn't even know you was Italian, but I will remember that. But how's your day going? And he was like, good. And then after that, he told me about how to fight tall people is just to go for their knees, because he said all tall people have bad knees. That's how we came together as a friendship. I'll never forget that. That was definitely a life-changing moment, I think, for both of us. That was a good one.
Can confirm. English teacher in Japan. Japanese elementary school boys love this joke. They ring a bell over and over and say chin chin. Chin chin. I just got it. It's basically the equivalent of ding dong, right? In English that can be both a bell sound and a slang for peen.
Yeah.
My mom and I have had this inside joke where we go don't talk to me or don't even look at me in response to stupid shit. I don't remember how or when it started, but I've been doing it since I was a wee kid. I didn't realize how odd it was until I said fine. Don't talk to me then in response to my mom telling me I couldn't get a video game I asked for and the woman in the aisle with us got offended. She pulled my mom aside and told her I don't need to be talking to her like that and she needs to teach me how to respect her male. My mom explained that it's a joke that we do but she doesn't think the woman believed her. My husband and I joke like this too. My friends get really uncomfortable when I roll my eyes and say I don't even like you. I want a divorce and he says good. You smell like wet garbage in flea market.
Me and my wife do a shut your face thing. We don't really do it much anymore because it does not come across in public. Because when me and her both do it, we don't laugh at all. And it does not come across as a joke. But y'all see us in videos sometimes, you know, we ragging on each other and shit like that. But yeah, shut your face. Stop your face from moving. that's one that we do. It's really fucking funny, but we don't really do it much anymore because of that. We had an
LOL, I
incident.
love this.
We had an incident
My
at an
girlfriend
auto
will
zone, and I don't think either one of us will ever forget it.
say she is going out for a pack of smokes and whole milk. She is a vegan who has asthma. This is her joking equivalent of "I am leaving you." That's pretty cute.
That is cute.
Apparently it's not normal for your parents to openly and graphically discuss their sex life with you. And it's definitely not normal for your parents to have multiple partners younger than you. Edit. Since so many are asking, my parents didn't start this behavior until I was an adult.
Thank you for clarifying, which I feel like you left out on purpose.
When I say the partners are younger, I mean they're sleeping with college kids while I'm in my mid to late 20s.
That's what I figured.
Oof, that's awkward. Depending on time frame, even criminal. Son, you jumping in this orgy or what? Your mother is getting antsy. Saying damn it after sneezing. That was an interesting day in first grade. We say shut up. Can be awkward with new people. Tends to get laughs though. We say something similar after a third sneeze. Bless you. Bless you. Are you done already? Combination here LOL. Bless you. Bless you. Shut the yuck up.
That's
Everyone in the family, extended family included, likes each other and gets along. One boyfriend commented that my family was weird because everyone got along. No massive fights, screaming and yelling each holiday, bringing up decade-old grudges once or twice a year. Like he has never met his uncle because his dad and uncle hate each other too much.
Wow.
TBH, this is weirder to me than the guy whose dad jizzes on him. r/no context. This is context if anyone needs it. That my mother would scream and yell every single night in her sleep. I legit thought it was a normal thing. My mom has nightmares. Doesn't yours? Edit. Given the comments here, maybe a larger conversation needs to be had about why people have nightmares.
He's like, I think we need to break this one
Holy
down,
shit.
y'all.
I dated a girl that had those and it not only creeped me out but she would start clawing and punching.
Jesus
I've kicked
Christ.
a partner and left bruises on his shins. I felt so bad when I saw them. My mom has screamed at night during nightmares for the past 55 years. When she's not screaming, she's cursing people in her dreams. The most vile, horrible, nasty, cursing, sailors, carpenters, and longshoremen everywhere would cringe in horror at what comes out of her mouth in the middle of the night. Smoking indoors. I didn't do it, but my GF at the time had a veritable panic attack when we had my mother over for dinner. It was the first and only time my mother came to visit. I was born.
Yeah, your mom can't come back over. No. Smoking my goddamn house.
mid-70s, so I remember smoking in malls, planes, hospitals, etc. Both my parents were non-smokers, which made them unique enough, but still every time someone came over, they'd pull out these giant ashtrays for their guests. Such a different time. Would you be shocked to hear? I went to junior school in the 1970s. I can vividly remember at least 2 teachers who smoked in class. Ashtrays on their desks. No ucks given by anybody. I graduated HS in the 90s. Our school had a smoke pit, which was a large area between 2 buildings where it was 100% okay for students to smoke between classes. It didn't matter that we couldn't legally buy cigarettes. If we had them, we were allowed to smoke them. It seems far more common for parents to be very overtly cautious, controlling of their kids' activities. Not that my parents let us have free rein, but they trusted my brothers and I to walk around the neighborhood, usually in big groups. Bedtimes weren't really enforced after like age 10, and never on weekends. Ironically, later I was pretty often the safe friend to the more cautious parents, because I turned out real boring. I was probably a bit of a special case because I've always had a touch of anxiety, but I think having my parents' trust kind of removed the rebellion of it. Edit. Well, apparently it's not as uncommon as I thought. Hello other boring free-range kids. Also, I've been told the original expression is free reign, but I think both versions work, so reign stays.
You know what? That in the neighborhood that I grew up in, that was pretty true. We grew up on base though, so it was very different because there's literally armed security guard. Like, not that he's gonna fucking do anything, because it's before like the war on terror or anything. the security was so insanely low on base. It was insanity. Like, you can go and leave when you please. It's like not a big thing. But because you're in like a gated area and everybody really knows everybody, that's definitely like how it was. You weren't forced inside normally. If the streetlights came on, as long as you check in, then you should be fine. Like, my mom would be really stressed out even, and she still wouldn't even really enforce it. And as long as me and my sister tried to like at least attempt to self-police, then we had the ability to like be outside or whatever. They never wanted us inside. I had definitely like the video games are cancer parents. They never wanted me getting into like video games. I always wanted me outside and stuff like that. Is this game just open? Why is this game open? What the fuck? Sorry. Why is that open?
Same. I had no curfew once I was 12 or something, and I turn out boring as well. My friends' parents loved me because I was such a good kid. Same here as well. I remember getting my license and asking my parents if I even had a curfew. Before that, if I was with another kid in the neighborhood, it was be home before dark, and if I was out somewhere, they were usually the chauffeur parents. They decided I didn't have a curfew and to just text them and let them know my plans and when I'd be home, so they would know to leave the service door from the garage to the house unlocked, and if they were asleep when I got home, to text mom and let her know I was home, so if she woke up in the middle of the night she'd know without checking my room. The latest I ever stayed out was...
Yeah, like that was basically what it was, like the first part, except with yelling. That's how we got the same part, except my mom yelled about it a lot. That's all.
Midnight or 1, and my friends who I'd hang out with one had a curfew of 10, so we'd do whatever until 10, and then from 10 midnight we'd just chill in her basement, and then I'd drive everyone else home and go home. I'm 23 now and still live at home. COVID has messed up my moving out plans, and it's pretty much the same now. Just let them know so mom leaves the service door unlocked, and shoot mom a text if she's asleep when I get home so she knows I made it. I was definitely the boring friend all the parents trusted. I got my license first, so I usually drove and everyone always got home safely and on time. I'm still the boring friend that doesn't stay out super late and makes sure everyone is home safe. Haha, I'm exactly the same. I had no curfew once I started secondary school age 11, and after 2 or 3 nights of staying out past 9 I soon realized it's boring and I ended up just going home at a normal time. I was also allowed to drink from the age of 14-15 and go clubbing and to pubs when I was 16. By the time I hit 18 I was pretty bored of it and never one for binge drinking or getting blackout drunk. The novelty had gone. Flush the toilet after peeing. We tried to save water, so we basically peed until someone took a dump.
Yep, I have been in a household where this is the case, and it horrifies me.
Then one day I went to a family friend's house and freaked everyone out because I didn't flush. Edit 1. Forgot to mention that we were a family of 5 with 1 working toilet, and my dad shits like 3 times a day. Edit 2. Our bathroom was on the 2nd floor and it had a window. This thing can work until your bathroom gets filled with pee smell. Not recommended. Edit. Thanks, guys. Now my top voted comment is about the stain of pee. Thank you. Flush the damn toilet. I'll take a higher water bill over the bathroom constantly smelling like piss. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Join our community.
That is a very, very popular choice for people worried about their water bill. You know what? Like, at the end of the year, if you just replace your toilet tank, because now it's different. Back in the day, it wasn't as cheap. Now, bathroom parts are widely available. So you can get a do-it-yourself system that get a new flusher. It costs you like $24 that will only flush half your tank, so you can flush when you pee, or less than half your tank. You can set it yourself to any amount just to get the pee out. That rhymes. And that'll save you way more at the end of the year, and you don't have to deal with pee smell. So just do that instead. Please don't leave piss in your house because you want to save money on water bill. Actually save money on your water bill. That would help you, not suffering. But to each their own. I've had some frugal family members in my life, some frugal family habits in my life, so I know how it is sometimes, That's just how it is. But anyways, I'll holler at y'all. I'll see y'all. Oh yeah, anything weird that your family did that you don't feel like was normal but interesting, let me know. Even like small things are always fun to read through. Peace.